Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions, and all the Foxes banter you could ask for. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Well then, Mahrez has made something of that. It's Mahrez! 2-0 to Leicester City!
Next to him, Anthony Canoca finds Wood. Wood should score. Wood finds Canoca. Yes! In!
Here comes Leicester again with Hefke and Ibbett! Oh, this is incredible!
Got Jamie Vardy with him. Jamie Vardy sets off. Jamie Vardy!
Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube.
Good morning and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses. It is a good morning, Foxes. We didn't lose, so that's always a positive. But we're going to talk about the game, of course, and a few other bits and bobs. As always, make sure to get your comments in the live chat below. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. And let's go around and say hello to everybody. Kate, what's going on with you? How's your Sunday morning?
Yeah, it's all right, thanks. A little bit sleepy this morning. But yeah, I'm all good. Thought the game had lots of talking points yesterday. So yeah, looking forward to getting into it. How are you?
All good, thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling nice and fresh. Yeah, no hangover or anything like that. So yeah, I don't.
That's what the crowd want to see, lot.
Yeah, that Sunday morning a few weeks ago. Oh my God, that was awful. Steve, over to you next, mate. How's things with you?
Yeah, not too bad. Didn't get anything in my squad battle rewards this morning, Locke. So you understand that. I'm not sure if Graham or Kate will understand that one.
No. Video games, though. Video games. No. Yeah, and I was very hungry yesterday because after the game I hadn't eaten or anything like that, and Steve was sending photos of his. Where were you, Steve? Give it a shout out, mate.
Went to a gig in Derby yesterday after the game, and we stopped off at this place that my wife saw on TikTok called Amono or Momo or something like that in Derby. It's a Korean barbecue place, and it was very good. Very good.
Very nice. Graham, over to you, mate. You've had a nice trip away to Japan. I'm guessing you're now back in Abu Dhabi. How are you, mate?
I'm good. You know, one of the things that you have to remember, though, is that I'm not the only peripatetic globetrotter on the show this morning. Everywhere I go, Kate's been there first and knows more about it. So, a little superstar. But yes, I'm back in the sand pit. The funny thing was, though, it was very hot and humid in Osaka, in Japan. And, they have all these pavilions for all around the countries. And the only guys and girls that were lapping up with all the Arab stands, they're going like, everybody's like dying of thirst. And they're going, well, this hasn't warmed up yet. So it's an interesting week.
Yeah. How was the bullet train? Was it good? Good fun? Did you see Brad Pitt?
No snakes, no Brad Pitt. I did take an antidote with me. But yes, it was... Mount Fuji was hidden, but you don't really get an idea about how fast it's going until you come to a bridge. And normally you just see the post fly past. We just hear this whirring noise. But the bit that got me was I cut it slightly fine getting back to the airport to go. So you get off the bullet train, you get on another Japanese train, which Kate will all know all about, to the airport. And half an hour in, it broke down. And I'm like, what, Japanese trains don't break down? And if it's going to stay here too long, and they translated it using the woman that you get a lot of voiceovers on TikTok and all that sort of thing. And basically, we've heard a funny noise, so we're checking it out. That's probably me whining at the back, thinking I'm going to miss my flight. First world problem.
Well, did you manage to catch the game, Graham?
Yesterday? I did.
Okay,
I think our team was thrown off by the orange, the orange markers, that the orange, whatever you call the highlighter pen outfit. They look like they were everywhere.
Somebody said that they look like the Monzo card, and I think that's perfect.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Monzo, that's right. Yeah, good shout. Right, before we
Can
get
we do
into
that
it,
in English?
It's a little bank card.
Yeah, before we get started, let's see who's this. So morning to you, Reese, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hello to Kunal. Buzz, morning. Just a reminder that Steffi told us to get our popcorn. He really is entertaining us. Yeah, we're going to talk about him today for sure. Frankie said good morning. Morning to Ryan as well. Danny, the Leeds fan, smash a like and subscribe, everybody. Good win for you yesterday. Oh yeah, for Leeds. Tony says Marty is getting it right defensively, but up front we are lacking. IU 1 goal and 6, and Daka 10 months without a league goal. And Reese agrees with you, Tony. Has to change it up. Well, let's wait and see. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. First of all, let me come to you, Kate. Obviously, you were at the game as you normally are. What was? I want to talk about the Tifo first. What did you make to the Tifo? I saw some photos online. What did you think to that? Was it?
No, I mean, I heard the announcement and I was like, oh, okay, let's see what this is about. I mean, it was fine. It just, I expected more of a spectacle, and I don't know, I expected something a bit more remarkable, and it really wasn't. It was fine. Yeah. I thought there'd be a message or a picture or whatever. The way they were sort of saying, make sure that you're in your seats and make sure that this is fully supported by the club. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's this going to say? And then, yeah, it was just like the badge, really, I guess. LCFC 1884, whatever it was.
I know they've had. I mean, UFS have had their problems, haven't they, with the club over the years, trying to arrange certain things and stuff like that. I think wasn't there something with the Vardy one where they weren't allowed to hang anything off the top of the stadium or something because of safety concerns and stuff like that. Although I think they've done it before.
They weren't allowed to do one, were they?
The club. Yeah, well, this is a thing. It's like last season when the fans had no idea the championship winning season, when the fans had no idea if Vardy was staying or going that year, they were able to do one. They did a small one for Mark Albrighton. They did one for Shaky. And when Vardy was officially leaving, the club kind of took the credit and said, "No, we're doing it." I think they outsourced it, didn't they? So yeah, but no, Steve. Obviously you were at the game as well, mate. Obviously you can mention the Tifo, but also just the atmosphere, because Coventry rolled up and they give it the big one as always. Did it feel like a derby game?
It did right at the start, but I'll be honest, it sort of petered out, and then again the second half it started, and then it sort of petered out as well. In all honesty, I don't think the Cov fans really turned up. They weren't that loud from where I was anyway, and we were quite loud at times in the game. We sang the same song several times towards them, which is the Coventry, Forest and Derby song. But overall, the atmosphere, it's the same as it's always been at the King Power. It's okay. It's not great. All the grounds in the country, it's not the best.
Yeah, I got a message of somebody yesterday as well who was at the game with his 2 kids. Let me just find the message, what he said. Cemented my dislike for Cov fans, came out of the symphony rooms just after 12 to find myself in the middle of the Cov mob who had come off the train and the Leicester Stone Island crew lobbing bottles at each other. So yeah, there you go. So that's what was happening inside in the city yesterday. Yeah, Graham. I mean, Steve mentioned there the song Forest, the Derby Forest Cov song. Where would you rank? What would you rank that Derby list? Because it was interesting. I was listening to Hamza Chowdhury on Radio Leicester the other day before the game and stuff, and I think he made a little dig. He was like, "Oh well, we've not really thought about Coventry. We didn't think about Coventry for 10 years because they were nowhere near us, and we were kind of a couple leagues above them and stuff like that, but." What do you think, Graham? Where would you rank it? Because, in my opinion, it's probably Coventry Forest Derby, but I know other people will disagree with that. So, what do you think?
I'd go Forest Derby, Peterborough.
Shep Dynamo.
Shep Dynamo. Well, no, Peterborough. We've got to remember that. Apart from Coventry, Peterborough are very close to us, and there was a period of time. I think there was a couple of cup games, long before you were born or whatever, and they really got the ache about us. So they were. So Coventry. It depends where you live, isn't it? I live in North Leicestershire, so everything's about bloody Forest. If you live in, if you're swimming in Stony Stanton Cove, or whatever it is, you're going to get a load of Coventry fans. But I really couldn't get hyped up about this one. I was really pleased back in the day when they won the FA Cup and the bloke danced around the pitch and that sort of thing. And yeah, but I can't get it. And the Tifo, I know the club get a lot of stick, and I get a lot of stick for defending them. But the Tifo at the end of the last season was on all four sides of the ground. And what the club said is they didn't want to make it about just one section. They wanted to make it around everyone. And after what our friends that have said about the club, they got nicely asked to do it yesterday. So, it's but yeah, Tifos are a good thing. Wanting to change the owner of the club is a different matter, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, of course. Get the clown emojis ready in the chat. No. So Kate, the name of this video is Improved Performance. So would you what are your thoughts? Because doing the YouTube stuff yesterday, I would say it was mixed. That when I say mixed, a majority agreed it was an improved performance, but it was mixed in regards to like just the disappointment. Some people were quite disappointed with the team, and how we played, and obviously coming away with just a point. Other people were positive. I was very positive about the game yesterday. I was kind of happy with what I saw in the large parts, and kind of in my opinion, it was like, well, we wanted Ricky P to start. Most people wanted Winks to start because we kind of know that they improve us. And, with Ricky P especially, that he's not going to play the full 90. So when he comes off, you're going to lose a bit of quality there, especially when it's Hamza to come on in replace of him. So, yeah, it was. Talk to me. What did you think of the performance? Because I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think as far as a team collective goes, as we kind of expected, once the transfer window closed, you were going to see a bit more balanced cohesion and actually familiarity with each other, which I think has started to come through a little bit. The guys are looking like they know each other a bit, and some of the new introductions played really well. But obviously we were a little bit toothless in front of goal, and that's an ongoing concern, isn't it? We knew we'd filled the gaps in some areas, but the striker role is still TBC. And I thought Carranza came on and some of his movement looked really good. And, I wasn't really expecting a lot because Marty seemed to really labour the point of he needs time in his interview. So I kind of expected him to come on and look a little bit of a lost sheep, but he didn't. He came on and got really stuck in. But as a team collective, I think we've improved. Like I say, I think the cohesion's there. And what was disappointing yesterday, some of the individual performances, and Steffi Mavididi is up there. Like, he knows he should have buried that chance in the second half. The body language of him at times was quite questionable. I don't know if Elm saw that as well. Like, sometimes, like when he got subbed, he didn't really clap the crowd that much. He was head down, and I didn't think he had the arse or anything. I just thought, this is a guy who just needs a bit of a break, and he must be thinking, Monga's going to take my place. Monga is going to take my place, and obviously he came on and was electric, as we know. So yeah, I think as a collective, it's an improvement. And I thought defensively we looked robust. And I thought JJ played well. I thought Ricky P and Winks, obviously, they always play well. So it was just some of the individual stuff that let us down. But yeah, I came away feeling quite satisfied with that. Coventry did well. Like, Frank's got them playing, and Frank's got them very well drilled. Like, the last 15, 20 minutes, someone just sat on Harry Winks. It's tough, that he did well. So yeah, I thought it was encouraging. Would have liked to have seen a goal, but it was just that little bit of quality that let us down, sadly.
Yeah, Steve, over to you, mate. What did you think to the performance then? Because I thought kind of first half, especially the start of the second half, I thought we were really, really good, and I thought it was kind of the best bits of football we've seen under Marty in competitive games. Obviously, the Fiorentina game was good in pre-season, but yeah, what did you make to it all?
A little bit frustrated, to be honest. So, as people well know, I'm quite reactionary online in regards to Leicester results. Yesterday, I was actually quite calm. I thought that it was... The
question is, Steve, have you ever had a clown emoji off?
I have. I've had several. Oh, yeah. It's a badge of honour, I'd say. But also, there has been times when me and Graham have agreed on something online. So, I've had both areas. So,
good.
But, like, the result itself, look, we didn't lose. That's the most important thing. I think getting a point is better than getting 0 points. The performance-wise, look, a lot of Leicester fans need to realise that the transfer window shut 21 days ago. He's only had a week and a half with this squad since the transfer window shut, with new players coming in as well. It's going to take time to gel, and clearly, he made 4 changes yesterday. He changed a defender, 2 midfield, and who else was it? Oh, and Ricky came in as well. So 2 defenders and 2 midfielders. We looked a lot more settled. The midfield looked a lot better with those 3 sort of working around. Winks is always the better midfielder in the pivot anyway. Ricardo and Wout Faes did put a foot wrong. I just think we're missing a little bit of quality up front. And my main frustration, Kate, you probably agree with me with this, is that we weren't releasing the ball quick enough from the goalkeeper. We'd slow it down, and then the fans get really frustrated because once you see that Mavididi and Fatu have pushed out and they're ready to receive the ball, and the keeper holds on to it, it starts. The fans get a bit annoyed, and it kept doing that all game, and it was really frustrating. Yeah. But overall, it was a better performance. 90% of the time in this league, we'll win that game. It's just a little bit of confidence, a little bit of clinical finishing, and we'd have come away with a win.
Yeah, I mean, Graham, what about you, mate? Because I'm already seeing some Marty doubters online. We've played 6, 1, 3.
Yeah, 1-3, lost 1, drew 2.
Yeah. So, and I think, Graham, if because a lot of us were negative prior to the season starting, like prior to during pre-season and stuff. A lot of fans weren't really sure what we were going to get. And I think if you said that record to them, in pre-season, I think a lot of them would have said, yeah, 4th place with that record, 6 games in with all of the stuff going on at the moment. I think a lot of people would have taken it. But what did you think to the performance? Did you think it was an improved performance?
Yeah, it was solid. I think we're getting better every game. The Arabs have a word for it's shway shway, or it's 2 words, shway shway, which means slowly, slowly. I think he's played. So, look, we say Winks and our Belgium friend, they started yesterday, and I think that the fact that the manager sent them a message, right? The message was, "I don't want you anywhere near it. I've heard what you've done. Blah blah blah. You want to go." He knows that they're the players that he wants to play. But you know what? He just very slowly, ease your way in, have a couple of games, and then I'll pick you. So I think that bringing them in, I would still, and I'll be a bit different. I would still bring Ricky P on a bit later on in the game. As for releasing the ball early, we're playing a team that has scored 15 goals this season already, and I think that if you give them the space, or you try and really open it up, they're going to score. I mean, they had a couple of chances. When they did get the chance, they looked good. I thought, we're getting all this criticism about not scoring goals. We've already scored 8. We've scored 8 this season, which isn't. It's not. If you look at the team, there's probably a couple of teams that got 10, 11. One's got 15 or whatever. It's not shabby. We're going to have to find a way of scoring goals. And today was probably one of the rare occasions where we didn't take our chances, and we came against a world-class keeper on his day. That's the other thing. Teams play well, but bloody goalkeepers have a blinder when they want to play against us. So I'm happy where we are now. And I think the other consideration to take in is that we brought players on that have not played in the Championship, and therefore will take time to get up to speed. I think I bore on about it quite a bit, but players like Kante, they're very few and far between that kind of walk into a team and then can start playing at an English pace and with English aggression and all that sort of thing. So, I'm happy where we are.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you completely. I'm happy with it. I mean, Kate, Graham mentioned there about, and so did you and Steve, about releasing the ball quicker. There were people in our live chat yesterday saying we were too cautious. Marty set us up too cautiously, and I don't know what to make of that, Kate, because all of the talk before the game was that they were the top scorers in the league, and that there was going to be a lot of goals in the game, and we had to be careful. And so I kind of lean, and I think look at the team now compared to the first 2 games of the season. You think back to the first game against Sheffield Wednesday, we were a lot higher, and we were just destroyed on the break. Balls over the top, balls in behind against Vestergaard and Thomas. And I think in the last 3 or 4 games, Marty has basically changed that. He's made a change. We do sit deeper now, and we don't get as high up the pitch, or not as many players get as high up the pitch, which is it's a trade-off, right? You're sacrificing maybe a bit of attacking intensity in favour of not getting absolutely, I was going to say bombed, but you know what I mean? Like, get absolutely done on the break. Just get absolutely shafted on the break like we were in the first couple of games. So do you think it was too cautious? I know you kind of agree with Steve, what Steve said about not releasing the ball quicker. Of course, we can still work on that, but what do you think the people saying it was too cautious?
I felt like that was the keeper rather than necessarily as a collective. The first half in particular, it did feel a bit like Enzo ball. And like I say, I think a lot of this play and players have a lot of deep-rooted habits and they just fall into it. I can't imagine Marty would have wanted that pace in the first 20 minutes. But sometimes you just slip into old habits. But yeah, Jakob was frustrating. I'm not saying you need to launch it within 3 seconds every single time, but there was some really clear opportunities that Mavididi and Fatawu were giving him, and he just didn't take it. He almost waited for Coventry to reset. It felt like NFL, where you wait for them to reset and then go. It felt like an unwritten rule at that point. But yeah, Coventry pressed quite high. They really crowded around the middle with Winks and James, and they were good on the press. Their press was exceptional. That's where I think we were left wanting a bit. Our press wasn't as good. They could pass it between their back line and DMs quite comfortably with no press, and I think that's where Samare needs to up his game a little bit as well. So yeah, you could argue that, but look, Rome wasn't built in a day, and we were playing one of the most informed teams in the league, and you didn't want to lose it. You don't want to lose that kind of game because that can feel different. Whereas I think a hard fought point, as disappointing as it might be to not even score, I can't remember Leicester's last 0-0, but it was encouraging, and I think a lot of the stuff is going in the right direction. It's just incremental steps, and you can't blaze it every single game. It might have been different had that been Oxford at home last week. Like, it might have been a different feel and a different approach to it. But with Coventry, they have proved that they are pretty lethal at the moment in front of goal, and you just have to have one eye on that, even if you think you're home favourites, really.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, I've seen criticism about, well, that's 4 points dropped in the last 2 games, but you can't take the Coventry, you can't take that. You can't take the Oxford game into account, surely, because 25 minutes in, your new signing goes and gets sent off for an absolute bozo, challenge. I mean, I think just before the red in the Oxford game, I think we'd grown into it a lot, and from my point of view, I thought, well, we're going to go and win this comfortably. So I feel like taking that into account, as well as them playing one of, as somebody said in the chat, pains to say it, but one of the better teams in this division, I think it's a little bit unfair to criticise Marty too much for that.
I'd agree. Yeah, I would. You're right. The 25-minute red card last week didn't give us any favours, and we probably would have won that game. If we'd had an extra sort of 10 minutes on top, we probably would have won that game.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you're right. Again, they are one of the form teams in the league. Are they still unbeaten? Yeah, they're not lost a game this season, have they? So in the league as such. So, and they're going to be right up there. So you take a point, because come game 46, that point could be all the difference between going, up automatically or staying in the playoffs. And again, Leicester fans need to remember as well that Sheffield United, who were the main competitors, haven't got a single point on the board yet. Southampton have struggled as well. They lost yesterday. Ipswich, I know their game got called off, but they were down to 10 men, losing 1-0. They're all still behind us. So, settle down. We're only 6 games in. If we're still in this position in sort of 10 or 11, 12 games time, then fair. Like, you can criticise the manager, but he's not been here for very long. He's not had a full pre-season. And, we played well yesterday with 4 changes in the team. We looked a lot better. And that team will go up against West Brom on Friday. I think, for me, I would like a win on Friday more than anything. I think they're also a very good team. I know we all want to win. That makes sense. But they're another strong team. And if you look at 7 games and you've got 12 points, that doesn't look as good as sort of 14 points after 6 games. Sorry. So, yeah, 7 games.
Well, I mean, we like going to the Hawthorns, so we'll
You
we'll wait and
might.
see. Well, I won't be there, but Kate, are you going? Steve, either of you going?
Yeah.
Both
For my
going.
sins.
Okay. Yeah, although it won't feel the same without Vards, will it, at the Hawthorns? Because it's one of his favourite grounds, I think, probably
Yeah.
to go to. But let's talk about the two new lads that came into the team yesterday. One of them started, one of them came on off the bench. Jordan James, Graham, what did you think to him, mate? Because I thought, look, I was disappointed to see him and Ricardo both come off yesterday. However, I know Ricardo's being managed and he's being looked after. You've got to kind of protect him. Jordan James, I don't think had much of a pre-season. He's not played loads. He's not played much football, so he was probably struggling a little bit. I don't think Marty's going to pull them both off at the same time again in the future, because I think the drop off in quality was quite noticeable. Yesterday when you took both of them off. I think we just lost control of the game at that point as soon as both of them came off. But what did you think to Jordan James? Because I thought he had an excellent game for his first start, and I think he brings something to the team that we've not had since Dewsbury Hall. Again, I'm not saying he's as good as Dewsbury Hall before somebody shoots me. I'm saying that the profile of player, I think we've missed that since Dewsbury Hall left.
Yeah, I mean, for me, he reminds me of, again, before you were born, Neil Lennon. He's got that kind of physical attributes. He's what's been missing for a long time. He's one of these players that, that works. Now, whether it works in the Premier League is a different matter, but in this division, and we keep that works. Another tick in the box. I think that taking Ricardo off, as I say, this is a 40+ game season, isn't it? So the football world's changed. You play 60 minutes with one team, and it's a bit like rugby. You bring on another 4 to finish the game off. So I thought, and I'm sure we'll get to it. I didn't think anybody had that bad a game. Even the person that you're going to harangue for having that bad a game, I don't think had that bad a game.
Yeah. Kate, Jordan James, I know I messaged you yesterday. Obviously, I think I called it yesterday a JJ Boner watch because I'm obsessed with the guy. I absolutely love Jordan James.
Becoming unhealthy though, don't you?
Yeah, I wanted to get off that subject as quickly as possible because I didn't want to see that desk rise.
Don't flatter him, Graham.
But yeah, what did you? Yeah,
not much though. Didn't rise by much.
Yeah, it's already. Did you not notice it? It's already gone off. It's already gone off. No, what did you think to Jordan James yesterday, Kate?
Yeah, I thought he did really well. I mean, he just fits in, doesn't he? He's just so comfortable on the ball. He covers some blades of grass, doesn't he? And I think he always makes himself available for the option, whether that's defensively or going forward. So he's your true box to box. He's the guy that we've needed to link everything up together. Because whilst you've got wings, he doesn't really. Well, part of his game isn't really to sort of flood the box, if you like, but particularly in the first half, JJ, I thought, got in there. I feel like he tailed off a little bit maybe in the second half, but that may be a fitness issue, I don't know. But yeah, I like the look of him. I think he'll just start more and more, and I think we'll see him grow into games, really. I'm looking forward to seeing when Ramsey returns, seeing Winks, him and Ramsey, and see how they interact with each other, because I think that will be exciting, and I think that could cause some real problems. But yeah, really impressed with him. He's clearly got the motivation and desire to be here. He just wanted to put in a performance, and he seemed to love it out there, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, Jordan James, I especially like in the first half, I thought he was everywhere. Like he was helping out, which we know he's that type of player. We knew that would be what he would bring to the team. Defensively, he gets back and he can get up the pitch quickly. Obviously, as Graham said, he's physical, so he can put his frame about a lot as well. And on the ball, he's good. I mean, you saw him have 2 chances. The first one was a really good effort from outside the box or the edge of the area, which was just tipped past by the keeper. And the second one, look, he should have tested the keeper more. It was played into him in the box, and I think he just hit it straight down the middle. But just the fact he's getting in those areas, I think is encouraging.
Yeah, I also like Pipe said yesterday on the radio on the way back that he was because it was so compact in the middle, he was sort of floating to the left and the right, which is what you need. That's an intelligent sort of midfielder that knows that you're not going to get the ball in the middle and get some space. So sort of float out to the wing slightly and give them more of an option. I like him. I think he's instantly like first name on the team sheet for me with Abdul. He's steady on the ball. He can progress it forward. He's good at defending, and he's got that engine, like you said. Him and Winks will be great. And Kate, you're right. Yeah, Ramsey and Winks together. That midfield excites me more than Samare and Harry, Oliver Skip, and whoever else. I would say pay the money now. Sign him permanently now. I think he's going to be a player for us for the next sort of 5, 6, 7 years and help progress the club forward again.
Well, as Daniel says, I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks. I think he's future captain. Like I genuinely think he is. He could be a future captain for Leicester. I mean, €6 million is what we can buy him for permanently. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You know, you're not going to get many players who are instantly, first team quality for us for €6 million. And I hope whether we go up or stay down, I hope we activate that. To be honest with you, because I mean, you saw him at Birmingham. He was brilliant there as well. They had to sell him because it was just before they got their investors in, so they had to make some money. They had to make some sales, and they chose him. But he didn't have a good start to his time in France, so he's come back to England and he's had a good start here. So, I'm getting a bit of feedback here. Can anybody else hear that?
Yeah. Oh no, not double locks. That's too much.
I think it's from Graham. Hold on. I think it's from Graham. Get the clown emojis. We can't hear you, Graham. I think you're muted. You've muted yourself.
Sorry,
there we go. That's better.
I won't be getting my 200 grand then, will I?
I mean, Ryan said here, I said prior to James saying we need a box-to-box midfielder. Got it. Love what I see. Already covering every grass yesterday. Got a goal himself, making a good run into the box. Winks and JJ make us tick, said Buzz. Perfect duo. Anyone still find it weird we've got another JJ in our team so seamlessly? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I saw someone on Twitter yesterday put in their preferred lineup for the game, and they even put Justin because their just mind was like JJ Justin, so they brought Justin, which was quite funny. What about Samare, Kate? Because he's always a talking point. We're always like, 1 week it's Samare's good, 1 week Samare's shit. What did you think to him yesterday? I thought he was steady.
That ain't me. It's not 1 week on. The 1 week on, 1 week off. It's not that kind of ratio.
That's true.
10 weeks off, 1 week on, maybe. He frustrates the hell out of me. I've got to be honest. I find that he really needs a partner. I find him a bit of a sheep. And he started covering the same kind of ground as JJ a bit, and as Winks. Like, I don't think he offers an alternative, better option in terms of he's just always too close to his other player. He gets in the way a bit sometimes. And he's very straight, like he can't really do much unless it's in a straight line. When you see him run and when you see him almost not think, you're like, wow, and you can get excited, but it's just the few and the far between. I find him just quite frustrating. He didn't really do anything wrong. He just doesn't offer the dynamism that I think you need in that part of the pitch for me. And sometimes he slowed play down quite a lot. He's got the turning circle of a bus. I just found that really frustrating, and that might be because you're spoiled when Winks picks up the ball and he can just turn on a pivot and just go, and he's so seamless and makes it look so easy. But Samari is the opposite end of that for me. I found him he looks disjointed, he slows play down. So whilst he didn't do anything categorically wrong where you can pull him up about it, he just feels like a bit of a square peg in a round hole with that middle now, because we've got two ball players either side of him, and I just don't think he's there. And that's just the ongoing saga that is Samare, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Graham, what about you, mate? What are you thinking about Samare? Because he, like Winks, Samare has less than a year left now on his contract. Do you think he should be phased out of the team? Because, we've got James, we've got Winks, you've got even Ricky P who can play there. You've got Skip, who is, unfortunately, here for another 3 years. You've got Ramsey to come in at the 10 as well. So What are your thoughts currently on Samare?
Was he playing yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, these sort of things come along. If this doesn't motivate him to want to play better and to up his game, knowing that he has competition for his position, then I'd say, he's not going to be somebody that you're going to go out and, splash the cash on, are you? I mean, we don't have to splash the cash, but yeah, I wouldn't re-sign him or anything else. It'll be thanks and next.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would agree with you there. To be honest, Graham. Steve Carranza, he came on, made his debut. God, he's handsome, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Can I just mention really quickly on Samare? There were a couple of times yesterday where he linked up play with Winks pretty well with the 1-2s that were okay.
Yes.
But my main takeaway from him was that he saw Mongo do a few tricks in the corner yesterday, and then he tried to do a back heel, and it came off his own shin and went out for a throw-in. So I was like, yeah, that sums him up perfectly. Carranza, what a bloke. He is a good-looking man. I'm not going to, he comes on, and I was like, fucking hell.
He's a specimen.
He is. He's built like a brick shit house. He's got that lovely, sort of Argentinian look about him. It's about time we've got some good-looking guys in the squad, to be honest.
Damn straight. Say that louder, Steve. Come on.
What do you mean? We've got Ollie Skip. What are you talking about, guys? Come on.
He's a close second, but Carranza's just nicked it.
He's got the personality.
Oh,
I think Kate.
He looked pretty good
As soon as I saw him come on, I thought, I reckon Kate might fancy a bit of Argentinian beef.
Oh my God! Wow.
I mean,
if I said
10 a.m. on a Sunday, but I am here for that. That's fine.
No, he's a handsome bloke. Something for the ladies or anybody else of that disposition. So yeah.
Yeah, Larks, you said the other day we're about 6% gay all the time. Now I think there was about 90% of people in the stadium yesterday going, "Hello."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I said minimum. I said everybody is minimum 6% gay. So yeah,
only 6.
I'd say you're at least sort of 15% all the time. Especially with Jordan James on the pitch.
Our manager was Steve Cooper at the start of last season, mate. So
okay, I'll just take it down. Right. Yeah, very much takes it down.
Yeah,
but no, he looked good when he came on yesterday. He looked strong. He looked sharp. He got himself about a little bit, and unfortunate that his header was saved by the keeper. But actually, the difference between having Ayew up front and Carranza up front is night and day. When you see that he wants to he's in the box. The amount of times yesterday Ayew got the ball from sort of 18 yards, 25 yards out, and you're like, mate, get in the box. This is not where you're meant to be. So obviously, it'll improve his confidence, and if he gets a goal in the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks, we might see him start more regularly, which would be good because we need that pivotal point at the top of the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, Kate, he's not only a specimen, but he's also, he's got that.
You've got to decide between JJ and Carranza here, Locks. The loving is getting a bit too much.
No, JJ will always win for me, JJ. But no, although Luke did point out, Luke said on stream on not deadline day, sometime after deadline day, he said that Jordan James looked like a bit of Play-Doh, which I can't get out of.
I can see it.
I can't get it out of my head now, but no. Big shout out to Frankie, by the way, in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat, who put that photo of Jordan James's head over Sydney Sweeney's body. That made it better. But no, Kate. I mean, not only his presence. He's a big guy and he doesn't play like it, but from appearance, he looks like a traditional centre forward kind of thing, right? The size of him and stuff like that, but. He got up for that header, which, he got it on target, and I know he didn't score, but I think Patson Daka, that's into the stands, to be honest with you, if that was Patson Daka getting his head on that. So I think it's exciting. I think he brings a new way to score goals into the team as well, because how long have we been saying, the boomers, in the fan base have been saying, we need a tall centre forward, we ain't got anyone, why do we cross it? We got no one who can header it in and all of this, but I think this guy can clearly do it. So it's an exciting addition to the squad.
Sorry, were you talking then? Because I've just got this picture of him behind Steve's face. So did you say something? Sorry. He's bigger than I thought he was, actually. Yeah, he's a bigger guy than I thought he was, actually.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I completely agree with
Come on,
Steve.
boys.
That's the phrase, actually, focal point. I mean, even in Vardy's later seasons, he wasn't the focal point because he was coming deeper. Obviously, his pace wasn't what we were used to with him. But Carranza just seemed to instantly link up play in that part of the pitch, and something that we've been so desperate for. And he made it look really easy. He was pass and go, which is what we just don't see enough of. Like, Jordan will pass but stay next to you, or just hover back a couple of yards. Whereas Carranza was like passing, moving every single time, gave the option. It was refreshing to see, and he did bring that wave of excitement onto the pitch, I think. So I'd like to see him start next match, or it might be something that happens when Ramsey's back in the frame, that he'll be able to carve out his perfected starting 11. But for me, Carranza did more than enough to get way more minutes than he got yesterday, because he was feeding off scraps a little bit, but still managed to make up, a decent chance and just create a bit of havoc in that penalty area. Because I think for the last couple of seasons at least, have we really troubled centre-backs enough? I don't think we have. We haven't troubled them where they think, I can't go forwards enough because I've got a mind on that guy there. Like, I can't pass it round comfortably because I've got a mind on that guy there. Like, we might actually be getting to a point where we've got someone who had the tenacity and youth that Vardy once had to be able to really pressurise the back line.
Yeah, I mean, as Steve said here, noticed how it got very wet on the pitch when he came on. Take that as you
Even God loves him.
Graham too.
They always said God was a woman, so
That's true. Did you not get the wave of excitement when Daka came on, Kate?
I got the wave of my hand.
yeah to shoot. All right, let's talk about it. Graham, I'm going to come to you first, mate. Steffi Mavididi. So I'm going to come to you first because you were slightly less harsh on him. I mean, what I will say, Graham, is I actually think, and this says a lot about his start to the season, I actually think it was his best performance of the season, which makes it even worse because of how, well, the sitter on its own was enough. But what did you think to his day yesterday? Because as you said, the Monga, I mean, somebody put in the chat as well, the Monga effect. He knows that it's not long before he can't get a start. So what are your thoughts?
Well, let me just go back to your centre forward hard-ons. I thought his header was, if Daka had done that, header, if Ayew had done that header, it was a back pass to the keeper. It was not earth-shattering. You really got to give him some time to get up to speed. He needs match fitness rather than, I'm sure he's as fit as a butcher's dog in many ways.
Oh, he is.
All right, straight. Pull yourself together. but it'll come. Oh, God, that didn't sound right either.
Graham, pull yourself together.
Yeah.
Come on, Graham, get a grip. Come on.
Get a grip, boy. Yeah, that as well. Go to put a dampener on the thing. I felt sorry for Mavididi because his first effort that got saved wasn't that bad. He's a winger, and wingers are either shit or shit hot. And he is suffering from a lack of confidence. I think his attitude coming off the pitch and what he did after the game shows how upset he was to miss that chance. But again, we talk about, not carving out chances. Again, Ayew for me reminded me so much of Vardy. Well, actually, he was better than Vardy because he could win the ball in the air when it was locked up front and head it on and bring. But he made that effort, and the world opened up in front of him. At least he got it on target, and that goalkeeper was on form. So I think our mate Ryan gave him 3 out of 10. I think that's a little harsh. I think he's becoming the player that we want to. That not we, but people think, right, we've got to have a scapegoat or we've got to have somebody to moan about in this team. Fatu nearly cost us a goal, giving the ball away in a stupid position. So it's wingers. Monga will have his position one day permanently, but Monga isn't going to play in that position. So, maybe the team will change, with Ryan and other things, maybe a different position. But going back to your thing about travelling defenders, if you've got the Argentinian stud muffin up front and you've got two wingers running at them from either side, that's more than enough for a back four to be changing their underwear over.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Kate, what did you...
Graham.
We've gone down that rabbit hole. I'm desperately trying to claw out.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, Kate, what did you think? What did you think, Steffi? Because I mean, his confidence is gonna be even, it's gonna be on the floor now at this point. Because I mean, he had a golden chance really. I understand people say it's more of a it's more difficult than it looked to score that. But he had so much time as well. That was the frustrating part. I think he could have taken a touch. He tried to take it first time. But, as we keep saying, Jeremy Monga, he's not far away. Mavididi got dragged not long after that for Steffi and for Monga, sorry. What did you think to his overall performance yesterday?
Yeah, I think 3 out of 10 is really harsh. I just think he was just really average. I know what you mean, Locks, about it being one of his better performances of the season. And I think that was because he was a bit more tenacious. He was taking on the wingers a bit. He does often get doubled up on, actually. So we need to remember that as well. And yeah, he did okay. It was just obviously more front and centre with everyone looking at him because the golden chances fell to him really, and he should have done better. There's no doubt about it. But when your confidence is low, those things just don't go in, and you almost become a bit of a try hard with it. It was just disappointing to see his, head drop and stuff when he came off the pitch. I felt like when he missed the golden chance, I felt like I don't know if Elm could see it as well, but from the stands, like that lived with him for a good 10 minutes. And you've just got to, as a pro, just think there's another chance coming in a minute. There's another chance. Like just because that one's missed, it doesn't mean that one's not going to come again. So I feel like we've always said this about him. He's a very emotional player, and he needs a good, firm manager who understands that side of him to really put his arm around his shoulder and guide him. I do think he needs guidance. He's still a young man, and he's just waiting for his break, really. So I don't want the fans to get on at him because that won't help him at all, and I don't think that that's helpful. But yeah, he just has to be mindful, as everybody, we're actually in a bit of a position, weirdly, even though it doesn't feel like it, where no one's position is safe because we have backups in a lot of areas, whether it be youngsters coming through Seagrave or other pros that we've bought. So no one's position is really safe, even going all the way back to Jakob, So it's probably good for quality and overall perseverance of the team that these guys have got to push on and continue to prove themselves as a starting player. But Mavididi, just fell short yesterday. It was frustrating, but he needs to live and learn by it and sort of wipe the slate pretty quickly, really.
Yeah, Steve, I mean, Mavididi, Planet Earth said here, Martin knows there's a good championship player in there, but how long does he look for it? And I think even 2 years ago when he had a great season, 17 goals and assists combined in that season in the championship. Even in that year, I think there was a few games where you'd see him struggle to take on his fullback in the first 20 minutes, and then his head would drop, and it almost felt like he gave up after that point. What do you think people are being too harsh on him? Because I know somebody said as well about social media, and what I would say in response to that, and I'm not saying this justifies abuse, because it doesn't. If you're talking about criticism towards Mavididi on social media, I mean, Mavididi likes to play the game as well on social media. I think we should remember. I mean, when Leeds failed to get promoted 2 years ago, he did something on social media towards Leeds players. He obviously said about the popcorn, get your popcorn ready, we're going to have fun, a few weeks ago. So I don't think, when you've got a character like that who's so into teasing on social media, I don't think you should say, well, you can't criticize him on social media. Obviously, abuse is different. But yeah, what are your thoughts on him currently, Steffi? Because I think it's just so frustrating, isn't it?
It is. I think you can sort of copy and paste what we said about him with Oxford last week, where if he had a left foot, he'd be world class. His issue there is that he, like with the Oxford game, he cut inside, and yesterday he tried to shoot with his right foot as well. If he had a left foot, that probably first time is a lot easier to take. That's for sure. He's a bit frustrating in the sense of, like, he cuts inside all the time, and the defender knows exactly what he's going to do. He tries a couple of step overs, stands on it, and then runs again. To just be a bit quicker with the ball, like release it if you need to. And Kate, you're correct as well. Like the difference mentality-wise between the elite players and the good to average players is knowing that there's going to be another chance coming along, and don't worry about the previous one. That's why Jamie Vardy was a step above every other striker we've had in the last sort of 15 years, because he knew when he missed a chance, don't worry, another one will come at some point, and we'll just put that one away instead. He is frustrating. I think we've dropped him a lot previously when he's been out of form, and he's come back and he's played well after that. So maybe sort of a couple of games on the sideline would be beneficial for him and comes on off the bench, because I do think that a winger coming on after 60 to 70 minutes will have a bit more of an impact than a starting winger for us, because the fullbacks are tired and you get a lot more space in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes. So maybe that's how we should do it. We start with Monga and then bring him on in the second half, and hopefully that sort of pulls up his sort of confidence. But yeah, it is frustrating seeing a player that he's trying to make something happen, but for one reason or another, it just didn't happen.
And not only does he have Monga, there's also Bobby Reid, who's back, who was on the bench, again now for the last two games. Thanks to Kate's question to Marty last week on Radio Leicester, we now know as well he likes Bobby, Marty. So that game.
Has it made you think differently about him? Because it definitely has me.
Say that again.
Has it made you think differently about Bobby? Because it actually has me. Like, I wasn't Bobby's biggest fan last year, but
I think with Bobby, it's a bit like Jordan in the sense that you kind of know that the brain is there, and that technically it's there, but physically the pace, obviously the age doesn't help, and he's just not the exciting name, right? When we talk about Fatau, Mavididi, Monga, and then it's Bobby Reid, a lot of fans, and I think this is why Ayew gets overhated so much, because of his age and his pace. And he's not the goal scorer, for example.
He's a marathon runner, though. Second half Ayew is different to first half Ayew. Like, I think he's just got one gear, which is reasonably high. It's not as high as first half youngsters, but he will remain at that gear until 95 minutes.
How frustrated did you get yesterday, Kate, though, when we got the ball down the wings and Ayew was still in the centre circle running to catch up with play?
And wasn't like at right back or something yesterday as well? And I was like, where's Jordan? And I was like, oh, he's there. Why is he there?
Yeah. Okay. So we've got 3 games left before the next international break, which is crazy. Already another international break. Although I have just read that apparently from next year, they're going to combine these 2 early international breaks into one. So we're going to have like a 3-week break or something early on in the season rather than 2 small ones. I'll come to you first, Graham. So the next 3 games are West Brom, Wrexham, Swansea. That's West Brom away, Wrexham at home, Swansea away. What are you looking at them 3 results? What are you hoping for points wise out of them 3?
Well, I'd take 5.
So win the home game, draw the 2 aways.
Yeah. So my boring fact about West Bromwich Albion's ground?
I can't remember. Remind us.
It's the highest ground in England.
Oh yes, I have read that.
800 metres. Yeah, it's a good trivia question. And I've been there many a times because it's too bloody near and you feel you can go. But I go back to people like Jeff Astle. West Brom always used to have 2 really shit-hot strikers. And we would go there and get nullified. I like the kit, though. The blue and white striped kit back in the day was good. But, Wrexham, that's going to be a party. I'm desperately trying to get back to that game, but I'm failing miserably at the moment. But I think we just got to keep going as we're doing. I mean, if we can carry on in this pace, we're going to be a menace second half of this season. So if we can get ourselves in the higher playoff places, Middlesbrough are on a roll at the moment, but can they keep it up? Ipswich have spent a lot of money on players. Southampton has spent a lot of money on players. There is a chance that they're going to get better because their players will be embedded. We're never going to be the league top scorers, but just grind it. Oh God, we're back on that subject. Just grind out the results.
Yeah, absolutely. Kate, what are you saying? Because for me personally, like I would normally, I would normally say, yeah, okay, the bare minimum, you win your home game against Wrexham, you draw the 2 away games. But I think it's like Swansea away. I know they beat Forest, but come on. I think 6 points minimum for me. But what would you like to see from them, or what do you think is the minimum that we should hope for?
Swansea away is the easiest fixture. West Brom is always filled with drama, and Wrexham are just the Hollywood hunks at the minute, and it's a bit unpredictable. Like, it was a great result for them yesterday. I think we really need to make KP the cauldron with the return of Danny Ward and Connor Cody. Like, that could be quite where we could play our part in putting the keeper off or whatever, or I don't know. But yeah, the Swansea game is arguably the easier fixture. So I understand Graham's 5 points, but I think I'd be a bit disappointed with that. I think I'd like to, 6 probably minimum for me. But look, at the end of the day, we're not playing and firing on all cylinders at the moment. And if we can keep grinding out results and remain unbeaten over that stretch of games, that's when your momentum comes. And Leicester are starting to build momentum. It's had to start from quite far back, but we are starting to build some momentum. And there's a feeling of robustness starting to come through the team. Like yesterday, we didn't really look like conceding. And I know I often say that I don't like parking the bus, and it's all about scoring goals, not necessarily keeping a clean sheet. But Marty's starting to build some really important building blocks, and I feel like that can, if we keep on building, we could turn a draw like yesterday and last week into a win quite comfortably. So I would like to see us be unbeaten across the 3. So I understand Graham's 5 points, but 6 for me, I'd be really happy with, because it's a difficult league this year. We can see, you might be saying that Sheffield United haven't got off to a great start, or Southampton have dropped points. It's because it's difficult. The Championship is looking difficult this year. So it might just take us a while to get our momentum to start really picking up 3 points every week. But yeah, 6 probably for me as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. You say difficult because obviously more teams are taking points off each other, but maybe you could look at it as the team that can, piece together 3-4 wins in a row on multiple occasions this season is probably the team that's going to get promoted, or one of the teams that's going to get promoted. And I feel like we've got enough.
Any team that if you put 3 wins together in the Premier League, you don't go down, and I still stick by that formula. And it's probably similar with the Championship. You put 3 or 4 wins together and get that momentum. Leicester are a real momentum team, and they always have been. That's why we didn't want to break the cycle when we won the league. Every game was nervy because we didn't want to lose and break the cycle. And it's the same with this. And Marty is starting to build some momentum. It may not be pretty at the minute, but we are sort of getting in the positive direction.
May I ask a question?
Yeah,
I'm not interrupting. I would like us to get 9 points, but where I'm going with my 5 points is I can't see the consistency. I can't see, can you honestly, do you get that gut feeling that we're going to win every game we go into yet? I don't think we're there yet. So that's why I'm saying 5 points. I think that we don't know how they're going to turn up because we haven't played these teams before.
So I don't feel as nervous as I used to about, flipping heck, we're going to concede within 10 minutes. And
True.
I don't feel like that either.
True.
Which is the gradual swing of the pendulum, I think.
I just don't think we're going to score in the first 10 minutes. That's the other way, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Steve, where's your head up with them three games? Because I think especially over probably the last 3 games. Yeah, the last 3 games, I've probably gone into every game and thought we're gonna win. We're gonna win today. But that's just obviously not how football works. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come away, we go to the international break with 9 points from them 3. Like, it wouldn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me if I think if we lost 2, it would surprise me, actually, because I think that would be a bit of a car crash. But go on, Steve. What are you hoping for from these 3, mate?
So I said to Anil before the Oxford game that we'd get 8 points in the next 5 games, and we're on track for that. I think if we get two draws, Oxford, Coventry, we beat, win 2 more and lose 1. So 8 points from the last 5 games, not ideal, but with the 5 games, that 2 before 3 coming up. But yeah, 6 points. I'd be happy with 6 points. I'd like 9. We all want to win at the end of the day. That we're all football fans. But I think 6 points is reasonable enough to know that we're going in the right direction. And if that means that we lose on Friday, but we beat Wrexham and Swansea quite comfortably, okay, fair enough. There are a lot of Leicester fans that sort of very entitled, thinking we're going to every game and win every single game. This is a very difficult league. It's one of the worst leagues to get out of in world football. So, 6 points, I'd be happy with that. But as long as if we get 6 points and we turn up for all 3 games, then I'm happy with that as well. Like, there needs to be that consistency of starting 11 now and showing us some performances to show that we're actually meaning something and we're learning.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, Dawn says 2 wins and a draw. Danke says has to be 7 minimum. Planet Earth thinks 6. Reese would like 9 out of 9, no exceptions. Reese is in dreamland, I think. We'd all love it to happen, Reese. And I think it could happen, but yeah, I think to demand that is a bit much, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The last few comments as well. Richard says, we'll have moments in games and it's a case if we take the chances or not. Scott says it's a difficult championship this year. Look at Ipswich. They are running away with the league in 17th. Luke is here. He's just woken up or just finished work, whatever it is. Hail Winks. All hail Winks. Mads was dropped by West Ham yesterday. It looks like Graham Potter's on his way out as well. Maybe Nuno. There's been photos of Nuno Espirito Santo having a meeting with somebody from West Ham over the weekend. Behind.
I did also think yesterday that the next, I don't think it'll be this round of sackings, but the Christmas sackings in the Premier League, I think Coventry could lose Lampard. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he's enticed by a London opportunity. It just wouldn't surprise me. That's why.
So I said to Rich, who's an Ipswich fan, on the predictions on Thursday, that if Amorim gets sacked at Man U and Glasner goes to Man U from Palace, the McKenna can go to Palace. I think Palace works for McKenna, and then they lose him potentially. So it's going to be all up in the air. Coventry, Lampard could go, McKenna could go. Nobody's taking Marty, are they? So we're okay.
Yeah. The Ipswich situation's a weird one. I am surprised. Sheffield United is crazy. And I don't know if you saw, did you see Wilder's interview yesterday? He was like, when I came in here last week, I said that we'll be okay. I'm not sure we will be. The players are fractured. And I was like, wow. So that's
I saw that he only lost 5 games last year, Wilder, and got sacked. And they've lost 5 already.
90 points, I think.
Or
85 points
this season.
Crazy.
And they're out of automatic promotion hunt now. 15 points is a lot of points to pick up.
Yeah. They'll be going for playoffs. Right. So just before we finish as well, I just wanted to quickly say that stay tuned tomorrow. There will be an announcement tomorrow morning, I believe. It'll be at some point tomorrow morning or afternoon. And the little hint for everybody is that tickets are now on sale for the Football Content Awards. So take a look at that if you want on Eventbrite. But yeah, tickets are out. But there will be an announcement tomorrow on our Twitter and Instagram and wherever the fuck else. If I can be bothered to do TikTok, I'll try and do TikTok. But it's horrible little place TikTok. I don't like it. So that's pretty much it. Thanks to Kate. Thanks to Steve. Thanks to Graham. Thanks to everybody in the chat as well. Make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe also. And big shout out to our sponsors, Match Bingo, because Graham, can you tell everyone how much they've paid out already?
You could win 200 grand.
200 grand. Right. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Thanks, all of you, and thanks everybody in the chat. We'll see you very soon. Tomorrow night, call-in show, 7 p.m. Make sure you're there. Take care. Bye-bye. Massive thank you to today's sponsor, Match Bingo. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football, and bingo and combining them into one amazing app. Make sure to get your bingo card for any Leicester City game in the upcoming season. Click that link in the description or via the QR code on screen.